So welcome back, everyone. Now, you know, my next guest I adore, okay? I have with me Mike Salazar, and he's the owner of PASS Fire Protection. And I'm going to let Mike tell everybody what PASS stands for. Go ahead.
Oh, thanks,
Good
Carol.
tell him.
Yeah, well, PASS stands for Pull, Aim, Squeeze, and Sweep. It's an acronym to help people identify how to use a fire extinguisher.
Now, you know what? Fire extinguisher, you're thinking, you know, that I know how to do that. No, you don't. You probably don't. And what I love about Mike is that Mike gives away a fire extinguisher because everybody entered to win one. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the quality of your fire extinguishers that then, you know, the other ones that everyone probably has underneath, maybe their sink if they're lucky, or in their garage, or somewhere packed away that they have no idea where it is.
Yep, no idea, or they just don't even own one.
Right.
But yes, ours are going to be constructed for commercial use, so they're going to be made of steel, not plastic. So some of the less expensive ones that you can purchase at these hardware stores and things like that, they're going to have a plastic head, so that means once they're expired or once you use it, you have to throw it away and get a new one. Where ours, you can maintenance them, refill them, use them for long
They're
periods
really
of time.
good ones is what they are.
Oh yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the lines here for everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. And we're gonna talk a little bit about the importance of it. I know it sounds obvious, but you know what sounds so obvious? Why do so many people not have them, number one,
Yep.
right? Or not know how to use them, right? Or know where they are, that's another thing that we talk about. Or just think it's not important. So we're gonna talk a bit about that, and we're gonna open up the lines here, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100, and get yourself entered in to win a fire extinguisher.
All right.
Okay, so you know, I wanna talk about some of these things, but first of all, I want you to explain how you even teach people how to use these. Once you win one, you get to be lucky enough to get taught how to really use it.
Yes, it's important to know how to use whatever you have in your house, right? You don't want to get this nice fire extinguisher that's there to protect you, your house, your property, and then you don't even know how to use it. So you're going to throw it away somewhere, you're going to hide it, you're not going to think about it because you don't even know how to use it. So it's important to learn what PASS stands for, and that's to help you simplify the use of the fire extinguisher.
So again, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. Maybe you are, let me just say, if you own a home, if you own a car, if you own a boat, right?
Or
a barbecue.
What are those? I keep forgetting what those things are called, but those fancy four-wheel drive things everybody drives. They're like Can-Ams
Oh, the
and
four-wheeler?
all that stuff.
Let me tell you something. If you own anything like this, you really do need to have a fire extinguisher close by. I know people that have had their barbecues blow up.
Barbecues, yeah.
Yeah, right. And then you said that people that have them close to their home, which a lot of people do, now your home is on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's going to go from your grill and it's going to catch the siding of your house or something like that, or your porch. If you have it underneath the porch, there's a chance they can start that on fire. And talking about those Can-Ams and those four-wheel drives, well, what's happening is we have dry winters, we have dry summers, we have potential for fires, right? So you're out there driving these things. They always talk about sparks, or you know, if you smoke or whatever. So if there's something that you're doing that could create a fire in these wildernesses while you're driving your recreational vehicles or whatever, you should have an extinguisher so that you can help
Well,
eliminate
don't get
that
yourself in
forest fire.
trouble. That
Yeah.
would be the first thing I would think
Exactly.
about. Now, again, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep.
Correct.
That is the acronym for PASS, Fire Protection, and there's a good reason for it. Now, you can call and talk to them because maybe you own a business and you want to have them come in. You can help them learn a little bit about fire safety and have some different, they need to have instructions to know what to do when it happens, because you're not just running out the building.
No, and let's identify where they are in the building and make sure there's signage so you can easily spot them if you need to. You know, they're not hidden behind stuff.
Do you also help people in their homes when you come in and kind of help them with learning about how to use a fire extinguisher? I know that sounds so silly, but guess what? Fire extinguishers are hard to use, especially when you're nervous,
Yes.
scared. like thinking, oh my God, it's getting bigger and bigger and I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm doing,
Exactly, yeah.
right?
Yeah, you'll panic and then you're just gonna squeeze something harder, you're gonna hold on tight, you're
Mhm.
gonna do something which is gonna maybe prevent you from being able to pull that pull pin, which is typically where people struggle the most, cause it looks like it's super easy when somebody does it and they know how to do it, but then going through the motions and trying it yourself, it could be a little bit more difficult than you think, but once you do it a few times, then you're gonna be more comfortable, you're gonna be more encouraged to use it
If God forbid, and you're gonna know where it is, cause he's gonna make sure that you know where it is, cause that's another thing, most people don't know where they are, especially in the offices, you know?
Yes.
Because I know you've walked by it a million times, but you see it and you don't even think about it, and then when you need it, you don't know where it is. So
Right.
our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Maybe you know somebody that's just buying a new home. If you're a real estate agent out there, that's what you should give them as a fire extinguisher, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody should be giving somebody, if they bought a new home, if you bought a boat, whatever it is, a new car, give them a fire extinguisher. That's what they really need, especially here in Arizona.
Yes, we see a lot of vehicle fires, and then plus if you're in apartment complexes and or condominiums, you're living around a lot more people, sometimes they'll have them outside in the common areas, but it would be good to have one inside too, so hopefully if something happens in your house, you're not endangering everybody in that complex.
Exactly. Now, we've got our lines open here, and let me just tell you, this is a special fire extinguisher. It's not your cheapie. It's not your cheapie ones that you
Yeah.
get on, which you can buy those, but this is special. So everybody is getting entered into win. It's a fire extinguisher, and our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check him out on his website. It's PASS fireprotection.com. You're rated with the Better Business Bureau, and you work statewide with people,
Yes.
and honestly, people, this is probably the most important thing you can call in for is a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, it seems so
Basic.
exactly, but it's funny, when you actually see something, you hold it, you touch it, you're gonna start recognizing it and knowing it, so even when you're out shopping, whether you're going clothes shopping or grocery shopping, you're gonna say, wow, there's a fire extinguisher right there. You're just gonna start noticing them.
Yeah,
because
so
you paid
soon as you
attention.
have one now, you're really gonna notice it, right?
Exactly, you'll start seeing them and like, oh, now that's what that is.
So I wanna talk to you about a couple of different things. Number one, a lot of people say, well, I have one, so I'll dig mine out and I'll get it out, now I'll know where it is. But let's say they've had them for a long time. Why won't it work?
Well,
Possibly.
It could be solidified, hard, just like baking soda, because a lot of it is similar to baking soda. If you get any moisture in there, or you haven't exercised it in a while, then it could get hard. And then when you go to use it, nothing's gonna come out. So even if you have old ones, we can take a look at that and we can try to service them or make sure they're in good shape, refurbish them so that you're not spending a lot of money and you still have a good fire extinguisher that'll work.
So call in here and get entered into win a fire extinguisher. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You gotta remember, you're gonna pull, you're gonna aim, squeeze, and sweep. But I'm gonna talk to you, really folks, I gotta tell you, even when you go to aim, you
Yep.
gotta aim right. That's another thing,
Yes.
right? Tell them
Yep.
how to aim.
Well, you want to aim at the base of the fire, not at the fire, so that the agent's going to hit and cover instead of going right through and past. So
Well,
yeah,
wait.
it is very important.
Exactly. Where else but on Networking Arizona are you going to learn about how to put out a fire with a fire extinguisher? That's what I love about this show.
Yep.
Because let me tell you something, folks. When there's a fire, I'm sorry, you are scared to death. I don't care, because with the smaller ones, that they start getting bigger right away, oh
Yep.
my God, you're going to panic.
And they grow fast inside a home.
Mhm.
It definitely does.
And I'll tell you something too. Let me tell you, I think Jay Leno, who had something happen in his garage,
Yep.
wished he had a fire extinguisher, one of
Yep.
yours right there, not some dinky one,
Yep. Or at least wish you knew where it was at, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people, I've seen it happen, and we've got the summer upon us. We're gonna talk a little bit more about them and why it's so important, and some of the ideas that you might have not thought about of what you can do with them and how they should work. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Call in here, get yourself entered in to win a fire extinguisher. It's gonna save your life.
Correct.
We're gonna keep on going because we're live in the room, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I think that what mostly that they need to hear is that they are the kind of fire extinguisher, okay? I wanna talk about that again really quickly.
Well, and then I was thinking about it, it's like even camping and stuff like that. You
Oh,
always hear,
yeah.
oh, this started because this person did this, and now we got
Definitely.
this major catastrophe. And it's like, man, if you could just stuff one in your truck or your vehicle or by
Right.
your tent, something goes wrong.
And
you don't
now
have
you
the
see,
ability.
oh, we gotta talk about Teslas. We always say we're gonna talk about them. We've got to talk about them again this time. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no, you just don't think about it until it's too late. And you're like, oh man, if I just have this, maybe it could. And plus helping people too. I've heard many stories where somebody does have it, and they see somebody trapped in their car or something like that, so they can stop, they can help
Well,
them.
didn't that just happen recently? Recently in Mesa, a girl was, the car was on, there was a truck that was on fire, I think, and they pulled her out and got her out, but, you know, it was scary. If they had a fire extinguisher, they wouldn't, she burnt, I think, a little bit, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's just, you never know when something's gonna be needed, you know, especially with fire. Like I had an old boss that said, well, if you tell me when the fire's gonna happen, where it's gonna happen, I'll come with my own extinguisher and put it out. But we never know, it's an accident, you know, you just gotta be prepared.
Well, and we also think it's only like, you know, think about it for Christmas because of Christmas, dry Christmas, but now a lot of people have the fake ones now. But still, it doesn't matter. If you have, a fire can, in your cooking, I think is probably one of the fastest ones, barbecues, I'm sure, boats or whatever.
Fryers, you know, yeah, boats, recreational vehicles, gas. Well, what we store in a garage too, because we store paint,
Yeah.
maybe we have it by
Garage.
paint thinners, or maybe we have it by off our pesticides, or even like one of my cousins, they just mowed their lawn, the spontaneous combustion through all their clippings of the grass and everything got hot.
You're
It started a
kidding.
fire and caught their house on fire.
You're kidding me.
No.
Oh my God,
Nope.
they needed to call you.
Yeah, and then somebody's like, oh, trying to use a hose, but it was too late.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Welcome back. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into win. It's a fire extinguisher. I know you're excited about it, and you should be. You really, really should be. It's probably the best gift that you can either give yourself or to anyone you know, because most likely the fire extinguisher number one that you have in your home or office or wherever it should be is either lost or it's not going to work when you try to use it because it's probably really old. And this particular fire extinguisher that we're giving away here from Past Fire Protection is way different. Again, just tell people that might have just tuned in, what's the difference between yours and others?
Yeah, ours is built for commercial use, so even if you have any residential, it's going to be better quality. It's made with steel parts, not plastic parts. There's ones that are out there that are pretty inexpensive, but they have plastic heads. So once you use it, you're done, or you'll never be able to resurface them or refill them. Those we don't sell, we don't service, obviously. So if you get ours, we can maintain them. You can have them for long periods of time. They can be used and refilled. They can be maintenance.
And how often should a person really truly be maintaining? Did you know that you needed to maintain your fire extinguishers?
Oh
I
yeah.
never know
No,
that.
they recommend looking at them once a month, which keeps you informed of where they're at, make sure that they're pressurized properly. And then annually, somebody should look at it, make sure there's nothing leaking, damage, broken on it. And then every 6 years, we go through, we take it all apart, empty it out, check inside the cylinder, make sure everything's good, and put it all back together and put it back in service.
So, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll-free it's 1-866-536-1100. We were just talking at the break, and I know you wanna talk about camping, so let's talk about that first. Obviously, anybody that's out there in the wilderness, I'm sorry, you need to have a fire extinguisher along with you, especially here in Arizona.
Yeah, in these dry climates, you hear all the time that somebody was out there and it got started by a human, you know, and it's like, man, if you're there and you see it starting, you have an extinguisher, you have an opportunity to put it out before it becomes this major forest fire that affects so many people in their homes and their lives. You know, it just makes sense. And like you were saying, just having one, we don't think about it until we need it, and then when we need it, we don't have one, then what good is it, you know?
And then if it doesn't work, that's even worse, when
Yeah.
it starts getting, that fire starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and, you know, you wanna do something about it, but sometimes it becomes too late. You need to know how to use it, which is what
Yep.
they help you with. They also help you with obviously getting it, maintaining it, and learning how to use it. Teslas, we're gonna talk about this, because, you know, they had a problem for a while
yeah.
there.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, they're going with these electric vehicles and then they're adding these charging stations into their house, and maybe they're not doing it officially. They're figuring out a way to do something to plug these things in, and they could catch on fire. And so you wanna make sure that you're protecting yourself from these electric vehicles, you know, any electric vehicle, Teslas, all of them. And those batteries, when they catch on fire, they're pretty nasty. They're still trying to figure out the best ways to combat those fires, so.
Well, here's the best way. Have a fire extinguisher. Have one in your garage, have one in your kitchen, have one in your office, have one in your garage. We were just talking
Yeah.
about what some of the things that people have in their garage. I know somebody they went to sleep, you know, everything was fine, and I don't know what happened, but something started in the garage, the whole house burnt down.
Well, think about it. We keep fertilizer in our garage, we keep paint in our garage, we keep other chemicals in our garage, a lot of flammable stuff. We don't have flammable lockers probably, so it's a good idea to be prepared for that, because they can spontaneously combust at any time. You know, we just don't know when
That's
it's
right.
gonna happen.
And that happened to a friend of mine, and guess what? They lost their entire home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really sad. Again, being prepared, that's what this is all about, but also not just being prepared, having one that works, having one that's a good quality,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You can check him out on his website. It's PASS, PASS, and that stands for pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. PassFireProtection.com. You can also call them. If you want a business and you want them to come in and teach everybody fire safety and all of that, and kind of some of the different
Yep.
things to do. If you've got sprinklers, he can help you with that too, right?
Yes. Oh,
And
yeah.
again, his number is 602-833-9117, PassFireProtection.com, or call us here and get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. You're gonna be really happy that you did number one, because it's so different than any that you can buy, right?
Absolutely. And you mentioned fire sprinklers, and there are a lot of homes out there that have these fire sprinkler systems in them as well, and nobody knows who to contact if they need to get maintenance, or if they have leaks, or if they have problems. So they're always struggling to find people that'll show up and help them. And, you know, we're willing to do that. We work with homeowners. We'll go to your house. We can show you the extinguishers, but we can also show you how to use or maintain that fire sprinkler system that's in your home that you've paid for, that's there to protect you as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have they do a lot of things,
Yes.
and it's really cool that they have them. But you know what, if you don't know how to use it, it's not so cool.
Yeah, or you're afraid of it. We don't want you to be afraid of it either. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to do that because I don't know.
How many houses have sprinklers in them?
Oh, lots
Yeah.
of them out there in Paradise Valley and Scottsdale. They're mandatory in a lot of areas,
Oh,
so
wow.
they're starting to put more and more in all the time. And since they're not a commercial building, they don't have to be regulated through the city like the commercial buildings, so nobody's making them get inspections, so they're just there. They're existing, you know, do you know if it's gonna work? Does it look like it's gonna work? And then there's leaks that happen, and then they don't know who to call, or they call plumbers. And I've seen one house where they used they cut some pipe out, put some other pipe in, but it's not the right kind of pipe. You know, cause our pipe has to withstand fire, it has to be rated for high heat so it doesn't melt. So if you're going to Home Depot and buying white plastic pipe,
Well, that's a bad
put in
thing
there, yeah.
with
it's
fire.
very bad.
Even I would know that, and I
Yes.
wouldn't know.
That's exactly it. So that's why it's important to know what you have, and then know what to look for, and be able to rely on somebody to go over there and help you out with it.
What I think is wonderful is that you do both, you know, you don't just go into businesses, you do help the homeowners out there. And if you own one, and even if you're in a condo, it doesn't matter where you are, wherever you're living,
Yep.
please get yourself a fire extinguisher. And I know that a lot of people have them, that they have them somewhere, they don't even know where they are, but the ones that you have are not the same as this one.
No.
And being able to have it serviced and use it over and over and over again, obviously, that's pretty important, right?
Yes, oh, absolutely. Yeah, the more comfortable we are, the better. I mean, I don't know how many places I go and the smoke detectors are all pulled off because the batteries are low and they're beeping and nobody ever puts them back. It's like, it's not gonna help you that way. So this extinguisher is the same way, you know, if it doesn't look nice, if it's something you don't know how to use, you're gonna put it somewhere, you're gonna forget about it, it's not gonna help you the way it's intended to.
Well, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into win a fire extinguisher. Maybe it's you or someone that you know. Please, especially real estate agents out there, what a great gift to give to someone. And you know, it's just a gift that, you know, that you could be saving their lives, saving
Yeah.
the home that they work so hard to get into, right?
Oh, absolutely. Don't give them a plant that may die, give them an extinguisher that can save a life.
Yeah, that number to call here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I do want to talk a little bit about cars, you know,
Yes.
not just the electric cars, because we just had somebody in, I think it was Mesa, that was driving in a truck that went on fire, and thankfully she was saved,
Yes.
right? But so important, you also said, let's say you're driving along and you see somebody, and how many times you see fire, you know, cars on fire these days, and they're not always old ones.
No, exactly, yeah, just even semis, I've seen semis up
Lot
in
of 'em.
flames. So if you had an extinguisher, you might be able to stop and help somebody get out of the vehicle or put that fire out, or if, God forbid, it's your vehicle, now you have an extinguisher, you know where it's at, and you know how to use it, you can help save yourself and whoever else is in the car with you.
How about boats?
Oh, boats, yep, I mean, imagine, you're out in the middle of nowhere, right, you're in the middle of the lake and something goes wrong, what are you gonna do?
Jump in the water.
Yeah, swim all the way back, that's tough. So yeah, it's better to always be prepared.
Yeah, again, it's being prepared is what the word is. The other thing that I wanted to talk about again is the barbecues, because now it's barbecue season. You know, a lot of people are gonna be using them, and you have said it many, many, many times. First of all, don't put them right against your house, because boom, they can go up and now your house is going up.
Yes.
And people don't think that it happens, but it does. I know somebody personally, again, who had that happen to him, and first of all, he was scared to death of what happened, and he
Yeah.
was lucky that he didn't get hurt worse than he did.
Oh, absolutely, you know, I mean, we're cooking and sometimes we're out there, but sometimes it gets hot, you know, so you put it on there, you close the lid, you go inside for a little bit, then you go check on it again, well, you don't know what's happening the whole time it's cooking and you're not out there. You have propane, you know, or natural gas, depending on what it's fed from. So you have gas, you have a flame, which is fire, and you have oxygen all around you, so you have the three elements that you need for a fire, just present.
Well,
right
it's a
there.
fire anyway, you know,
Yeah.
when you think about it, there's a fire there.
Absolutely.
That's there, and a lot of times people today, I think more than ever, are getting a little bit busy, right? So they
Yeah.
forget what they're doing, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Or they're having a drink while they're doing it, a
Yep.
beer or whatever, and the next thing they know, they kind of forget about it.
Oh, absolutely. You know, because it's fun, right? We're there, we're entertaining, of course we get to eat it, but it's a part of a pastime that we've had for a long time, and we don't want that to turn tragic and be a bad memory in your life. And of course, an extinguisher out there by your barbecue grill or your turkey fryer or your black top thing, but it's
They
not
showed
gonna
on television one time an air fryer where they were doing a turkey.
Oh, yeah.
And it went up like fast, like you can't believe it. It scared even the television commentators, because it really went up, and they don't think they were expecting that.
No, exactly. And this isn't gonna look bad out there, because you already have a tank of propane, so what's the difference of having an extinguisher right by it?
Right.
So, but it'll help save your
Don't
house.
worry about that. Worry about your safety.
Yep.
Worry about your loved ones. Worry about your home, your car, and especially today, I'm just thinking, why doesn't everybody, especially with the electric cars and
Yes.
the batteries, that they're all
Yep.
doing all those things in their own garages to try and save whatever money they're trying to
Yep.
save in time. Actually, make sure that you have a fire extinguisher. And where else but here can you get one? So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's getting entered in to win a fire extinguisher. Folks, keep yourself safe, that's what it's all about. Again, 602-277-5369, and guess what? It's passfireprotection.com. We will turn that